Good morning once again, grade 7s. This is Mr. Ntuli. I am going to be with you again, guys, for this session. I've prepared something very special for you guys today. We will be doing geometry of 2D shapes, but now our focus will be on quadrilaterals. Remember, guys, earlier on we were busy with the focus being on triangles. So that is why you've never heard about anything that was a quadrilateral before. Now, this is the opportunity for us now to learn more about quadrilaterals and what is entailed for us in grade 7, guys. So let us take in and have fun doing these things. We will be together, guys, and we will going to make it simple and fast, and we're going to learn. Right, let me get to it then. My lesson outline is as follows for you guys. I've prepared, first of all, guys, I will identify the prior knowledge. What was learned in grade 6? What did we cover in grade 6? What was already covered in grade 6? It is classified here as prior knowledge. The information that we are having from grade 6, guys, we don't lose it. We come with it to grade 7. We are going to link them together. We are moving forward. It's a chain. It goes on and on. We don't have to, when we get to grade 7, forget about what we did in grade 6. No, it is still very important what we learned in grade 6. It's going to help us. And also we will touch on what resources would you need or are needed for this part or for focusing on quadrilaterals. Vocabulary always, guys. Vocabulary in each and every topic that we come across in mathematics. Vocabulary plays a very important role. We need to place vocabulary. We need to understand them, the words, because in every new topic, there are new words that you're going to come across. Now, it is very, very advisable that whenever you start a new topic, have your pen, have your pencil, have your class exercise, have your dictionary, have your word bank where you keep new words, write them, scribble them down so that you familiarize yourself with them and understand them more. The more you understand these words, then they will make this topic be easier and easier, and may have fun solving quadrilaterals. Then there will be demonstrations and examples that I'm going to touch on. Then obvious, guys, for us to be able to see that we are learning, we need to do exercises so that we can see where we make mistakes. The most important part, guys, is to focus on what mistakes are we making. Doing exercise is a fun exercise, is a fun thing to do, but the most important part, guys, is that when you made mistakes, learn from those mistakes. All right, then I'm going to provide you again with tips here, guys, so that we may understand what could help us to successfully understand the geometry and then of 2D shapes, focusing on quadrilaterals. Okay, guys. Now let us do the first bullet there according to my lesson outline, which is prior knowledge. Now, what was learned in grade 6? In grade 6, you did recognize, visualize, and name 2D shapes in the environment and geometric settings, focusing on regular and irregular polygons, triangles, squares, rectangles, parallelograms, other quadrilaterals, pentagon, hexagons, heptagons, octagons, circles. So these are parts that we have already covered since grade 6. Now, resources that we would need for this one are the following. We will need a mathematical drawing instrument because we are dealing with shapes here. We'll need pen and pencil so that we can write and draw. We'll need a ruler to measure. We'll need an exercise book where we will write our notes and our class exercise that I will be providing with you guys. Now, let us get to vocabulary and meaning that we will use most often here, or the words that you're going to come across there, guys. First is a polygon. A polygon is a flat shape with straight sides. That one we just have to know, guys, and understand. We just have to master so that whenever somebody is speaking about a polygon in geometry, we understand what he is referring to. He is referring to what? To a flat shape with straight sides. Straight sides. A quadrilateral, you have heard me talking about a quadrilateral, guys, there and say we are focusing on quadrilateral. We might have forgotten. Let us remind ourselves. A quadrilateral, you see there, they say it's a polygon. They say it's a polygon. Now we know what is a polygon. But if ever they said it's a polygon without knowing what is a polygon, it was going to be a problem for us to understand what do they mean. So please, guys, you see the importance of having your word bank. Your word bank, they keep your words, new words. You write them, you familiarize yourselves with, so that you understand whenever we mix these new words in a sentence, you understand what they mean. So we say a quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. 4 sides. Then it can be classified as a quadrilateral. It may not have more than 4. Then we have got what we call a parallelogram in grade 7, guys. Maybe we might have touched it a bit in grade 6. In grade 7 again, here it is. A parallelogram. What is a parallelogram, guys? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of opposite sides parallel. Parallel. In other words, 2 lines keeping the same distance apart, going the same direction. One typical example of parallel lines, you will have to think about a railway. In a railway, guys, there are 2 lines. They keep the same distance apart. They go the same direction. So they may never come to meet. They will keep the same distance apart. So we will call these lines being parallel. So you can see the linkage of these new words. Here we spoke about a polygon. We said a polygon is a flat shape with straight sides. Check when we talk about a quadrilateral, there is a polygon there. Check when we spoke about a parallelogram, there is a quadrilateral there. So when we check these words, we need to write them down so that we familiarize ourselves, master them. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of opposite sides parallel. A rhombus. A rhombus is a quadrilateral with all sides equal. Careful. All sides, only all sides are equal in a rhombus. We'll touch on later on talking about other parts of a rhombus. But here, the explanation is that is a quadrilateral, which means it has got 4 sides. First of all, it has 4 sides, and all sides are equal. Then we have what we call in grade 7, I believe this one is new. A trapezium is a quadrilateral with 1 pair of opposite sides parallel. Quadrilateral, meaning when I visualize it, guys, it must have how many sides? 4. Why? Because it's a quadrilateral. Why? A quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. So a trapezium, is a quadrilateral with 1 pair opposite sides parallel. 1. Not all the pairs of a trapezium are parallel, but 1 pair, opposite sides parallel. Then we have a rectangle. I'm sure, guys, by now we kill it. A rectangle is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of opposite sides equal and all angles equal to 90 degrees. They all add up, all angles there, they are 90 degrees in a rectangle. So a rectangle we've been touching since grade 5. A square. A square is a quadrilateral with all sides equal and all interior angles equal to 90 degrees as well. So you can see there are similarities. But here the difference is that it talks about 2 pairs of opposite sides equal and all 90 degrees. Here all sides are equal. 2 pairs of opposite sides equal. All sides are equal in a square. Be careful there. Kite. A kite boys will be more familiar with because they normally, or even girls nowadays, guys, because we do it together these days. A kite is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs adjacent sides equal. Now there's a new word there, guys. Adjacent, adjacent. Check the word adjacent. So we must be very careful there. Adjacent. So whenever you know a quadrilateral, you talk about a four, it's a polygon with four sides, two pairs is something that I understand. But here, adjacent. Adjacent sides equal. What does that mean? We'll get to it. What does that adjacent mean? It says adjacent means next to or adjoining something else. Things that are going to join, or something that is very close to something. Next to. Next to. So in mathematics, especially here in geometry of 2D shapes, we call when shapes are close to or next to or adjoining, we say they are adjacent to each other. So you understand now, adjacent. Right. Parallel. What does parallel mean? Means never intersect. Parallel lines are always the same distance apart, guys, like I've said before. And I even made an example of a railway. So they are same distance apart. If it is 5 centimeters between the two lines, that 5 centimeters must always be that 5 centimeter. Always. If the distance between the two lines is 1 meter, that 1 meter must be maintained across. Then we can say these lines are parallel. But if at any given time, these lines at a certain time, they are no longer 1 meter apart. One is now closer, is becoming a 0.5 meters apart. Now it means that they are getting closer and closer. Now they cannot be parallel if they are like that. Parallel lines are always the same distance apart. Right, guys, after having explained that vocabulary, guys, it's long. Like I'm saying, guys, take notes, write them down, familiarize yourself with what you know, what is new to you, and those that you know, just make sure that you don't forget them. All right. Then let us talk about now the properties. What make these, what we only spoke about properties, we talk about what make these quadrilaterals quadrilaterals. What make them quadrilaterals? Right. On my table here, it is divided into 3 parts. We will see, I decided not to put illustrations there because we're going to come across them in the exercises. So the first one is a parallelogram. What are the properties of a parallelogram? A parallelogram, what we must know, both pairs sides parallel. Both pairs opposite sides equal. Both pairs opposite angles equal. These are the properties of a parallelogram. And then a rectangle. A rectangle, both pairs opposite sides parallel. That is what we must know first. Both pairs opposite sides equal. Both pairs opposite sides equal. All angles equal 90 degrees in a rectangle. Rhombus. Both pairs opposite sides parallel in a rhombus. All sides are equal. Both pairs opposite angles equal. Both pairs opposite angles equal. Something that is opposite is something that is facing each other, like the two lines in the railway, or yourself against your mirror, meaning that you are opposite to your mirror image. Right, guys, these properties are very important. These properties, guys, when you understand them now in grade 7, guys, let me just share with you just a small tip. Very important. Should you get them here, guys, and practice them and make sure you understand them, you will never ever experience any problem in grade 8, in grade 9, in grade 10 when we deal with properties of two-dimensional shapes under the geometry. You will never ever get any problem solving, because these things, they are making these quadrilaterals. So we need to understand the properties. What makes them to be? How do they differ? What is the difference? Some questions will come in the exam asking you the difference between a parallelogram and a rectangle. Now, for you to be able to answer that question successfully and correctly, you have to mention the difference between the properties of a parallelogram and the properties of a rectangle. Or the question may come, guys, and ask you to differentiate between a rectangle and a rhombus. How do you answer the question? You mention the difference between the properties of a rectangle and the properties of a rhombus. What makes a rhombus a rhombus? What makes a rectangle a rectangle? Those are the most important things. Right. Then we have a square. What are the properties of a square? Both pairs opposite sides parallel. All sides are equal. All angles equal 90 degrees. Those are the properties of a what? Of a square. Then we have trapezium. One pair opposite sides parallel. One pair opposite side parallel. Isosceles trapezium has no parallel sides equal. If this is classified as an isosceles trapezium, it means that there won't be any sides that are parallel. Last one, guys, there is a kite. A kite has two pairs adjacent sides equal. There comes this word again, adjacent. Can you see there, guys? The word it comes again, adjacent. Now, if you did not take notes, it would be a problem to understand. But because we have already covered the word there, it becomes easier for us, and we are comfortable now calling it adjacent because it means we know that it means close to each other or adjoining. And then we have equal angles, opposite symmetry lines. Equal angles, opposite symmetry line. Those are facing each other according to the symmetry line. Right, let us get to the first exercise there, guys. We are comparing and describing shape. Name each shape in each group. We've got group A. Group A, we've got this shape, and this shape. And then we've got group B, which is this shape, and this shape. Now, guys, let us, number one, says name each shape in each group. We need to give the name of the shapes. And again, let us emphasize, are you guys seeing that this shape and this shape are not the same? Also, this shape and this shape are not the same. But the ones that are looking closer like the same are these two. You can see. Just check this one and this one. You may think that they look the same, but they are not the same. Number one. Number two, the markings. The markings here. It means we've got two arrows facing this direction and a mark here, two directions. These two sides are what? Are equal. One arrow faces one face and this. These two sides are what? Are equal. As we have previously learned the importance of markings, guys. Also here, they play a very important role, guys. Please, let us make sure that we check. This side, it means it is equal to this side. Why? Because the markings show. This side, and this side are all equal. Why? The markings, they show us. Right. Then let us see. Number two, all right, let us answer the first number one. So number one, group A. It's a square, the first one, because we could see there are four sides equal there. The second one is a rhombus. Also, there are four sides equal. Why? But what is the difference between the two? Because a square has four sides equal. Also, a rhombus has four sides equal. The difference between a square and a rhombus, guys, is that a square angles inside all equal to 90 degrees. But a rhombus, no. They do not equal to 90 degrees. The third one, guys, was an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. This one we've already covered. Now let's check the group B's. Oh yes, yes, that is very correct. I can see you there. You are saying that is what is a rectangle. Yes, you're very correct. You can see this side and this side are equal. And this side and this side are also equal. But what about this one? These two. Think about the properties that we just read. There was a property which was saying that only one pair opposite sides parallel. Only one pair opposite sides parallel. There was that. Yes, there was something which was mentioning or talking about this. And also this one. It's like a rectangle but kicked on the vertex here to become like this one. Can you see? So here, what would be the name of this? Think about the properties again. Right, guys, let us get to it. Let me help you there so that we may move with speed. Right, the group B, we've got a rectangle. Yes, it was in the trapezium when we say one pair opposite side parallel. It was in the trapezium, one pair opposite sides parallel. Only one pair that is opposite and parallel in the trapezium. And the last one is a parallelogram, the way it is structured. Two opposite sides are equal. So you see the importance of properties there, guys. You check the sides, you check the markings, and then you understand what the properties say about the shape. So that you say, oh, if it is a trapezium, it might look like this. If it is a rhombus, it must look like this. If it is a square, it must look like this. These are the properties that give us answers. Right. Number 2, in what ways are the figures in each group the same? In what ways are the figures in each group the same? Let us answer that one. Group A, all of the sides in each figure are equal. That's what we said there. All of the sides in each figure are equal. This is what we have discovered, guys. Remember, we spoke about a square, we spoke about a rhombus, we spoke about an equilateral triangle. What we do learn there, all the sides in each shape are equal. All the sides, all of them are equal. Group B, at least one pair of opposite sides is parallel. That is what we have discovered in Group B, because we have got what? A rectangle, a trapezium, and a parallelogram. So at least, we are not saying not all, at least one pair of opposite side is parallel. That is what we have discovered about Group B. And at least a pair of opposite side is equal. Right. For number 3, we say, let's take the question first. Question says, in what ways does one of the figures in each group differ from the other two figures in the group? In what way? One is a triangle, let us say group A. Why is a triangle 3 sides? The other two are quadrilaterals, which means 4 sides. The triangle has no parallel sides. The others have. In the rhombus, all angles are not equal. Group B, the trapezium has only one pair of sides parallel and only one pair of opposite sides equal. In the rectangle, all angles are equal. The rectangle has no acute angles and no obtuse angle. Right. So that is very important, guys. Let me go back to the activity, guys. After we have done it together, guys, I would challenge you guys to do it again on your own. You may take a screenshot, you may take a picture, and redo this activity again on your own. See, and I believe maybe by the time we're discussing answers, you did grasp some. And also you may just download the video and watch it again and check where you are making mistakes so that you can be able to correct them the way in which it should be done. Right. Now let us move on to exercise 2. Now here we are finding unknown sides in quadrilaterals. Now, the instruction says there, use what you know about the sides and angles of quadrilaterals to answer the following questions. Give reasons for your answers. Right, guys, I will just give you a teaser exercise there for 2 minutes, just to check where we will make mistakes and we'll correct them later on. So your 2 minutes, guys, begins now. Right, guys, welcome back. Your 2 minutes has lapsed. Let us see, guys, the answers. The answers, we're going to discuss them together so that you may check whether you did them the right way or you made some mistakes. Now, let us see. Use what you know about the sides and angles of quadrilaterals to answer the following questions. This typical question means that we have to have an understanding of the properties of quadrilaterals. Give reasons for your answers. Now, the first one, what type of a quadrilateral is A, B, C, D? When we spoke about what type of a is A, B, C, D. This is a quadrilateral we are talking about. What type of a quadrilateral is A, B, C, D? We can see there are two opposite sides that are parallel, and these two sides also are parallel. So remember about the properties, if we've got two opposite sides being parallel, then, but again, let us check. Do we have an angle equal to 90 degrees there? No. Do we have an angle equal to 90 degrees there? No. Yes. We don't have an angle equal to 90 degrees there. So the most important part there is that which properties classify this quadrilateral? It means, yes, you are very correct there. It will be what? It is, yes, it is a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram. Let's look at it again. Yes, it is a parallelogram because it has got two. Why? Because it has two opposite sides parallel. And equal. So we say because it has two opposite sides parallel and equal, but there are no right angles. There are no right angles. So it is easier to confuse it with a rectangle. But the only biggest difference between the two is that a rectangle, angles inside the rectangle are equal to 90 degrees. So that is the difference between the two. So this one does not have a rectangle. It may have two opposite sides parallel. It might have two opposite sides equal, but there are no right angles there. in a parallelogram. So that is why we've seen that there is no right angle there when we were observing this polygon, quadrilateral there. Number B, name a side equal to side AB. Name an equal side to AB. AB. This is AB. What is the side that is equal to AB? Markings again. Markings will give us a direction. There's one mark here, there's one mark there. So yes, because we cannot say AB is equal to BC. Why? Because BC, there are two marks here, two markings here, only one marking there. So AB is equals to DC. So we'd say AB is equal to DC. We observed the markings. Markings are the one who are the ones who gave us a direction. Right. Number C. What is the length of BC? BC, guys. BC is BC. BC. Remember the markings, the markings, the markings, the markings. So AD is 2.5 meters. Therefore, AD is equal to BC. We'll start like that. AD is equal to BC. Therefore, the length of BC is equals to 2.5 meters. Why? Because AD is equals to BC. We see the markings there. We observe the markings. We would say the same. And again, opposite sides in a parallel. Remember, we said it's a parallelogram. Opposite sides in a parallelogram are equal in length. So that is our reason there. Right. I'm hoping, guys, we are together. One word of advice there again, guys, is that please, when we are doing this, when you don't understand something, write it down and confirm, asking your teacher, how were you confusing it? And you will get it definitely. You will definitely get it. And again, I will encourage you guys to do it. Do it. Try it on your own. Right, let us continue here. Number 2. Number 2, it says to us here, what type of a quadrilateral is EFGH? EFGH. Study it. EFGH. Yes. Very correct. I could see you guys are just observing and seeing the shape that, yes, you're saying it's a kite. That is correct. It is a kite. It is a kite. I've written it, guys. But now we need to understand the properties. Now, number B. What are the lengths of the sides EF and GH? So we need to find sides EF, and GH. EF and GH. EF and GH. The markings again, they are playing a role there, guys. We can see these two markings are also here, meaning that this line is equal to that line. Therefore, if FG is equal to FE or EF, then if FG is 35 centimeters, also if FG is 35 centimeters, also EF will be 35 centimeters. 35 centimeters. Why? Because FG is equal to EF. Therefore, FG was 35 centimeters. Also would mean that EF is 35 centimeters. You see the importance of the markings, né? Again, here the markings, EH is 16 centimeters. They want us to find what? GH. Therefore, if EH or HE is equals to 16 centimeters, then GH will also be 16 centimeters. Why? They are equal. It's given there. They are equal. Therefore, normally we write it as EH, or remember, HE and EH is one and the same. Is equal to what? To GH. So if EH is 16 centimeters, it would mean that also GH will be 16 centimeters. Markings are very important. Properties are also very important, guys. Number 3. What type of a quadrilateral is JKLM? JKLM. Now we can see JKLM. There is only one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. These sides are not parallel. Should they continue like this, at some point they are going to intersect, they are going to meet. So, because it has got one pair opposite side, remember the properties there? And we just spoke about it. If it has got one pair of opposite sides that are parallel, one pair opposite sides that are parallel, then it is a trapezium. Then it is a trapezium. Right. What? All right. Number B, they are asking us, what is the length of JK? The length of JK. Markings, 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 markings. Therefore, LM is equal to JK. LM is equal to JK. Why? Given. It is given. How? Let me put it inside the brackets. Markings there. They are showing us that what is taking place. And then, if LM is equals to 24 millimeters, therefore, JK will also be equal to 24 millimeters. So if LM, like the one that is provided to us in the example, in the exercise there, is equal to 24 millimeters, let me fix that, millimeters, then it will also mean that JK, it is 24 millimeters, because it is given that there are markings that are showing us that these two sides are equal. Right. Number 4. Figure PQRS is a kite with PQ equals to 4 centimeters and QR 10 centimeters. Copy and complete the following drawing by labeling the vertices of the kite, showing on the drawing which sides are equal, labeling the length of each side. Now we need to draw. Right, there is my kite that I've just drawn, guys, there. Now let's get to see the instruction. What does the instruction tells us to do? We need to read it carefully so that we do as per the instruction, not as per the way we think. So it says figure PQRS is a kite with PQ equals to 4 centimeters and QR is 10 centimeters. Now let's be careful. PQRS, these are 4 sides. So we'll use the vertices here, 1, 2, 3, 4. They say PQ is 4 centimeters. So we need to find where to put P, where to put Q, where to put R, where to put H. So here, I'm just making this nice. This is the kite that was given to us. We were asked to draw it and label PQRS. But here's the trick. PQ equals to 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters is the short side, and 10 centimeters is the long side. So the first thing that we need to do, 4 centimeter would be the short side. We know, we see there. The short side will be what? Will be 4 centimeters. And then the long side will be what? Will be 10 centimeters. Now, they say PQ must be equal to 4 centimeters. And QR, if we put PQ will be equal to 4 centimeters, and then QR will be equal to 10 centimeters. So, I forgot to, all right, if we put P and then Q here, will be 4 centimeters, which will be correct. So we can say PQ, which is the short side, 4 centimeters, and Q and R will be 10 centimeters, and S will be here because they did not do anything. Also, what we know is that this side is equal to this side. Then this side is equal to this side. How do we label that? By the markings there. So basically, this is what this activity was all about. They say figure PQRS is a kite with PQ is equals to 4 centimeters and QR equals to 10 centimeters. Copy and complete the following drawing by labeling the vertices of the kite. The vertices, which are these parts. The vertices of this, we have labeled them PQRS. That was the very tricky one. You needed to find out which will be the short distance. The tip there, guys, what I did is that I understand, because if it is a kite, this means this is the shortest distance. So it will be 4 centimeters here. And then this one is the long distance. It will be what? 10 centimeters this side. So I placed the measurements first. And then afterwards, what do? I then check which side they said is 4 centimeters. Or they said PQ. Then I will put P and Q here. Then it will mean it will go this direction. It will be PQRS. So it will be PQRS. Right, guys? So the next slide, guys, is about the solutions that we have. I've just alluded to. We just touched on them. Parallelogram, because 2 opposite sides are equal and the other 2 opposite sides are also equal. That was a parallelogram that we spoke about, number 1. And then CD, AB is equals to CD is given. Therefore, equals to 2,5. Therefore, AD will be 2,5 meters. That is what we spoke about. Number 2, we said it's a kite. Why? Because 2 adjacent sides are equal. And the other 2 adjacent sides are also equal. And then the length is going to be 35 centimeters. Right. Number 3, we just spoke about it, is a trapezium. Why? Because one pair of sides is parallel. 24. The length of LM will be 24 millimeters, we just spoke about. All right, guys. Now we have here the tips, guys. We need to read the questions very carefully. Very important, that one. We need to look out for the markings on each shape. They will give us a guidance on what is the name of the shape. We need to study the properties of the shapes regularly to master them. Guys, please, this one is very important. We need to study the properties of the shapes regularly to master them. You've seen in the example, in the activity exercise that we were doing there, guys, that there was nothing that was given to you that know that this shape is. So we needed to use our knowledge of properties so that we can be able to identify them. And then practice, 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 guys. Please practice. Without practicing, guys, you'll never grasp it. Please practice, practice, practice. Give yourself some time and do it. Just do it, guys. You will see wonders, and you will see that you will become an A student that you are. Most of us, guys, are very geniuses, but we are not aware of that. Only one key ingredient that we can spice our results with: practice. Just practice and practice and practice. Then you will see. So thank you very much. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you and thank you and thank you. Please let me add value, guys. Do more and do these activities. All the best.